For this mini lecture, we're going to be focusing on repetition and alliteration. So, once again, you'll still need your sound devices, notes, and vocab. What we are going to hone in on or focus in on are repetition and alliteration, which is a type of repetition. Okay, so just as a refresher, alliteration is when we repeat the sounds at the beginning of a word. Alliteration is a type of repetition, and as a refresher, repetition is when one uses a sound, word, phrase, or sentence more than once. With alliteration, we are using a sound more than once. With alliteration, we are using the sound at the beginning of a word more than once. So, we have our poem here titled Toads. In this poem, there is a ton of alliteration. So let's read the poem. Toads. A tree toad loved a she toad who lived up in a tree. He was a two-toed tree toad, but a three-toed toad was she. The two-toed tree toad tried to win the three-toed she toad's heart, for the two-toed tree toad loved the ground that the three-toed she toad trod. But the two-toed tree toad tried in vain. He couldn't please her whim. From her tree-toed bower with her three-toed power, the she-toad vetoed him. Okay, so we are going to look for examples of alliteration in this poem. So let me get out my annotation tools. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify words that have alliteration. I'm going to underline those words with purple. Again, alliteration is where the beginning of words sound the same. So, in line 1 of stanza 1, we have a tree toad loved a she toad. Here we have alliteration with the word tree and the word toad. These two words have the same sound at the beginning of the word, making them examples of alliteration. In the second line of the first stanza, we do not have any alliteration. However, tree, toad, and tree all do go together. In our third line, we have another row of alliteration. The two-toed, tree-toed is another example of alliteration because the first sound, the beginning of each of these words sound the same. Once again, alliteration is a type of repetition. A way that I think about it to make things a little bit more simple is, I already know what rhyme is. So with with rhyme is where words sound the same at the end of the word. Alliteration is just the exact opposite. Instead of words sounding the same at the end of the word, with alliteration, words sound the same at the beginning of the word. That wraps up this mini lecture on alliteration and repetition. Your next mini lecture is going to focus on repetition again, but it will be repetition and rhyme scheme.